Welcome to the assembly of the AquaCool Super Deluxe controller with base kit, and thank you for your purchase. Before you begin, lay out and inventory the parts to assure that your shipment is complete. Refer to the instruction guide included with your controller. To begin, measure and trim the solenoid wires to the required lengths so they fit into the housing. Attach the threaded adapter to the solenoid valve and slide the wire cap and coupler onto the timer wire. Next, splice the solenoid and timer wires using a wire splice connector. In this example, black electrical tape was used. Contact a qualified electrician to properly connect the solenoid to the timer if needed. Once the wires are joined, thread the coupler onto the solenoid valve and secure the end cap in place. Push the wire in as you tighten the end cap to ensure a tight seal. After connecting the solenoid, wrap all male fittings 8 to 10 times with Teflon tape. Using the instructions sent with your Super Deluxe controller, assemble the controller, thread a bushing into the solenoid, thread the Y filter into the bushing, position the check valve so the arrow on the valve points toward the solenoid. Thread the check valve onto the Y filter, tighten all fittings until snug. Do not over-tighten. Next, thread the garden hose valve with the end cap onto the bottom of the Y filter and tighten until snug. At the other end of the solenoid, thread a bushing into the solenoid and thread the pressure regulator into the bushing. Finally, thread the adapter into the pressure regulator and tighten until snug. Once the controller is assembled and all connections are tight, attach the 1/2-inch poly tubing water line to the adapter. Install 1/2-inch poly water line in your building using loop clamps and screws or nylon ties or both. To splice the 1/2-inch poly tubing water line, use straight connectors, elbows, T-fittings, or a combination of these. Simply insert the ends of the pipe into the fittings and secure. To cap the end of the 1/2-inch poly tubing water line, use an end cap. Always verify that all splices and connections seal properly to prevent leaks. Flexible risers are sections of 1/8-inch poly tubing used to supply water to the desired end fitting or emitter. Emitters are spaced at desired intervals along the water line and are connected to the main water line by a flexible riser. Using our 1/8-inch poly tubing to create any length flexible riser that is needed, the 1/8-inch poly tubing and the quick threads using the flexible risers are sold separately. To create a flexible riser connection, use the hole punch to press a hole into the 1/2-inch poly tubing at the point where you want to position an emitter. Next, cut a section of 1/8-inch poly tubing to desired length for the riser and insert a quick thread fitting into one end. Carefully push the fitting into the hole created earlier by the hole punch. After attaching the flexible riser, insert the desired emitter to the remaining end of the riser. Repeat the steps to install all remaining emitters. The following clips show how to attach the different emitters to a flexible riser. Install the emitters as needed throughout the system. If you have any questions or concerns, or want to order additional components, please contact our customer service at 1-800-245-9881.